So I feel like this is going to be a continuous thing, and unless you guys lose this upcoming weekend, but we feel like if we started off the show talking about the Niners, the Cowboys, and the Eagles every single week, and this week is going to be no different. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about, and we're going to kick off the show talking about the Green Bay versus 49ers game. And then we're going to kind of segue directly into the Green Bay offseason outlook. But I want you to really take the rungs on this one because you are our resident Niners fan. So what did you see from this heart-pounding, adrenaline-inducing game of this past weekend?
I'm going to make it very simple. I don't know if you saw my guy George Kittle on the Pat McAfee show, but very simply, go Pack, go the fuck home. Because that I predicted on this podcast live 41-20. And for those who watched the game, it was not 41-20. Matter of fact, it looked like for a little bit the 49ers were on the bad end of a blowout headed their way. So I think that we can be very lucky that Brock Purdy plays in the NFC and he's not going to have to play at Arrowhead Stadium in December or January or anything like that in the future, because very clearly he doesn't have the physical capabilities for that type of game when the rain and the wind is going. But guess what? The 49ers play in California. The Super Bowl's in a dome, and there's not a ton of those games that are going to be put in front of him. And if it's one or two a year...
He locked in though, right? I mean, completed 6 of his final 7 passes, and then even added 9 yards grab on that. Yeah, I did. I mean,
Brandon Ayuk made 2 amazing catches on two badly thrown balls, but you know what? George Kittle dropped the ball, so it's to give a review. I'll give you a 49ers optimist review, just because that's what the people tune in for, is to watch the 49er fan make fun of the Cowboys fan, right? The offense was terrible.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan was terrible. We came out of halftime and we ran a handoff to Juwan Jennings because Juwan Jennings was playing Deebo Samuel's position. And we weren't smart enough on the first fucking play out of halftime to make sure that we have things correct. But on the flip side with the defense, obviously 2 massive interceptions by Dre Greenlaw. Running around thinking he was prime time, Deion Sanders after the picks aside. Jordan Love and the Packers made it down the field a couple times. One time on a 56-yard run, which if you take that 56-yard run away from Aaron Jones, which I know you can't, but if you take it away, he averaged 3.1 yards per carry. Jordan Love didn't throw for over 200 yards. I know someone was rooting for him to get 300. He didn't get there. They got down the field one time on a massive kick return, which, for God's sakes, you drafted this kid. He can kick it out of the back of the end zone. Why we're trying to do this cute shit where we kick it up in the air to the 3-yard line and try to tackle him short? Just kick it out of the back of the end zone. 10 years ago when Kyle Williams kept fumbling punts all over the place, I was like, Harbaugh, don't put a punt returner back there, bro. Just let the ball bounce wherever the hell it's going to go. Don't let it kick the kick out of the back of the end zone. Then they can't return it for 70 yards and score right away. Another one of their scoring drives is against the 49ers all year. A really good strategy is find out who Ambry Thomas is covering and huck it deep, because he's going to have pass interference. So realistically, on the offensive side of the things, now everybody knows I think Jordan Love is a baller.
Yeah,
he has a huge boost in front of him. But it was a lot of kick return for 70 yards, one big run by Aaron Jones, and then a couple pass interference penalties is where they got all their points from. So defensively, I'm okay. Our run defense is trash. Chase Young is trash. Like, he's not getting paid this offseason. That dude can't set the edge to save his life.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard the name Randy Beal, but both Chase Young and Randy Gregory got benched in that game for Randy Beal to come in and set the edge, because he was the only – it's funny, the highlights are playing in front of me, and Chase Young's getting pushed around by the Ravens on a Ravens review. So, that dude is – you could see why he got traded. He's not it. Cleveland Farrell set the edge really good for us all year. But you know what? The fact of the matter is we pay that defensive line way too much money to not show up. So this week, against a really good running game and some dynamic runners, they need to show the hell up. They need to set the edge. We play the wide 9. Can't get outside of the wide 9. How does that make sense to you? Chase Young is diving into the interior. Anyways, I'm not going to make a 2 hour.
I think one of the positives you could at least, outside of obviously winning the game, but the Niners were previously 0-31 when down 5 points or more in the fourth quarter in the Kyle Shanahan era, and they finally got their very first win in that. So that's 2017 was the last time that happened with you guys. So coming from behind in the fourth, again 5 points or more, never happened in the Kyle Shanahan era, and this was the first time. So if you're going to do that at any time, now is the time to do it, because if you could do it once, hopefully you could do it very, very relatively soon again. I think the thing to take away, if we're looking at it from the Green Bay angle, is one, you obviously played a pretty damn good game against the number one seed in the NFC. And as good as Jordan Love has been this entire last 7-8 weeks of the season, including playoffs, his inexperience kind of showed on that last, especially that last throw.
Yeah,
Not
you
only
can't
did Dre
scramble
Greenlaw,
across your body on first down and huck a pick to the middle of the field. It
yeah,
cannot happen.
and it's not even just the Dre Greenlaw being there. It was in like double coverage as well. You have two Niners plus Dre Greenlaw a little bit in front on top of that, so damn near triple covered at that point. It shows a little bit of the inexperience, but for Jordan Love to be that good, beat the 2 seed, almost beat the 1 seed, and they're not supposed to be there, right? They're supposed to be in rebuilding mode. This was supposed to be like a test season from Jordan Love. This wasn't supposed to be a go to the playoffs and defy expectations and odds. But they did that. So if you're a Packers fan, you should be standing proud. They are strong. At the end of the day, I think that's what you take out of it from the Packers side of it. And
Yeah,
looking at their, oh, go ahead.
I just think that with their offense, they have so many wide receivers that had more than 45 targets this year. Um, Charvarius Ward, okay, guard this guy. All right, Diamador Lenore, go guard this guy. Okay, well, the other two guys might be the feature of the game plan. So for their future outlook, they have three or four guys that might go for a touchdown and 150 yards every single week. I think that's why
Yeah.
they did so well against the Cowboys, because you don't know who you can key into this upcoming week. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown and it's Laporta. That's it. I
Yeah.
mean, I know Jameson is fast, but he hasn't done anything. Realistically,
Yeah.
it's Amon-Ra and it's the tight end. With the Packers,
Absolutely.
it's like, well, you got Aaron Jones, you got four wide receivers, you got a tight end. It's very, very,
Yep.
very dynamic.
Yeah, they were saying on the broadcast that a different Packers wide receiver led them in what was it, yards? I think it was in every single month of this season. So there wasn't the same leading wide receiver in any of the months of this past season. So
Well, in four straight 100-yard receiving games by four different players,
yeah,
that's got to be, it's been a long time since that's happened.
6 straight season Kansas City Chiefs are heading to the AFC Championship game. So that's 6 seasons, 6 AFC championships for Patrick Mahomes. It's like Tom Brady numbers right there already. This is the third time that Kansas City is able to take down Josh Allen and the Bills in the postseason. And once again, it's another heartbreaker for Buffalo. I mean, I feel like we've watched this story before. Instead of it being a 13-second drive, we're looking at a wide right field goal, right? And as dynamic and as fun as the game was, at the very end of the game, Kansas City's defense is what held them down, forcing a turnover on downs, 3-and-out, and then a missed field goal on top of that for their final 3 drives. It's not a great look. I don't know whose shoulder you really put that on, because Kansas City's defense is technically rated up in the top 5 for a lot of categories. So do you want to put that on Josh Allen, or you want to put that on how good the Kansas City defense is potentially going to be holding them up this postseason? That's kind of up to you. But what do you do about Josh Allen, man? I mean, he's obviously a really good quarterback. Man's cap hit is going to be 67 million, if I remember right when I was looking at it. It's something ridiculous. They're going to be like $43 million over the cap this next season. They clearly were going like all in. This is the season. We're going to win this year, and then we're going to deal with it all later. Almost like Rams type-esque, only still having their draft picks. That's kind of the difference there. But $67 million is a lot for a quarterback regardless of who you are, and a quarterback that is not winning you or taking you to the championship game is kind of a lot at this point. So what do you think about the game one, which some people might call the game of the postseason, and then two, what do you do with Josh Allen?
Starting off at number two, you just you restructure, you extend, you move on.
Yeah,
You're not moving off at Josh Allen.
for sure.
I don't even really think the loss was his fault. I think they're going to move off of Stephon Diggs, so
Yep.
they might be a team to keep a lookout for on the T Higgins, the Mike Evans, the Brandon Ayuk trade, something like that. Because speaking of family members tweeting up a storm, Trayvon has been very, very outspoken in the past about getting Stephon off of that team. And I
Yeah.
don't really believe, no matter whose brother says my thoughts are my own, I think when people's family members start popping off on social media, that comes from internal discussions. So probably moving off of Stephon
Yeah.
Diggs.
That would save them 19 million this season, or the next season, excuse me. So just
And
trading them would save them 19 million.
I think they got to find. They got to find. I'm not. I don't. I'm not going to hold it against the Bills. I mean, I know they haven't won, and it is what it is. But I'm not going to hold it against the Bills that they keep running into the Chiefs. It just is what it is. You
Yeah.
know, um, it happens. You see it in every sport and every great dynasty. There was there's a legacy in the NBA that really LeBron's legacy is not what LeBron's legacy is if he doesn't take down the Golden State Warriors one time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that legacy is that the thing about it is six times the 49ers have been in the NFC Championship game 4 of the last 5 seasons,
Yeah.
right? And they've been marred with ups and downs and injuries and all this drama and Trey Lance and Jimmy G. No, the Chiefs just show up every year, and we're like, yeah, they suck this year. They're not that great. Their wide receivers can't catch a pass, and here they are. They're in the AFC Championship game. And I know you and I have been
Right.
texting back and forth, but I expect them to be in the Super Bowl because that
Yeah.
defense is legit. And if the Ravens have been on fire, I think the Ravens are the favorite to win the Super Bowl as of this morning. But when they play the game and the Chiefs shut Lamar down, if
Yeah.
it looks a lot better for Josh Allen after that because the Ravens have been on fire. And if the Chiefs come out
Yeah.
and shut it down, there's your answer.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's almost like you text me about, God damn it, we're doing this. You text me about the Cowboys and in the Niners game, and you're basically saying like, one, if the Packers come out and beat you guys, it makes us look better, right? Like it doesn't look as bad on us if you guys lose too, type thing,
Right.
The Chiefs type situation with them running into it. I mean, I don't. There's you got to be a certain age and be watching football for a certain amount of time to watch the Patriots domination through as basically 2 decades. As long as Tom Brady was playing, and there is those points with the Patriots where it's like, well, you didn't make it in because you played the Patriots. Sorry, like it's not your fault. It's just the Patriots, and it's almost like the same thing, right? It's not your fault you played the Chiefs. That's a team that's going to the conference championship game, or they're going to the Super Bowl, and then they may be winning the Super Bowl. They're winning 2 of them, right? I mean, that's kind of, and they have a good shot to do it this year again. So it's not your